Okay, I'm back. Let me see. I get the audio. Yeah. All right. I did what I said I wasn't gonna do, and I finished both of them last night. So, but they're done, and let me show you. So we saw Ralph before. Fine. He gets stuck on here a little bit because of the neck. Okay, here we go. Just a second. He's a little bit of a bear to put on, but it is possible. Wait a second. This might be the end of it. There we go. Okay. You've got these two little tabs in there that if they aren't just right, it doesn't work. All right, here we go. All right. So here's Ralph. Kind of see how he is. All right. Sorry, I wasn't prepared to actually film for this. Here's Ralphie. Oh, he doesn't have any mech, so I was looking for the things. So here we go. His hair's not quite as wild. Still pretty wild, but not quite as wild. Hopefully he reads more worried than upset or happy. He'll only look better as he gets older. Assuming he doesn't get stolen. All right, so let me close these hands out. I literally got him done last night, took a couple of pictures, and then went to bed. So I have not really tried him out. Hopefully you guys can tell the difference between the two. So anyway, there's Ralphie. And Sam looks good. Sam, I'm going to keep the same. Mayberry needs some work. I could make him a new body. Because as you can see, he's showing his wear. He's got to get his arm coverings. His arms are fine, although I do want to put removable rods on him. But I'd like to take his eyes off, paint those, get them all nice. I would like to change out his antenna because his antenna are starting to fall apart. And I might make him a little bit more like Ralph's. And then basically change his arm coverings and give him a thin body like Ralph has. So that's something I can do. Thank you, TC. TC says the build turned out awesome. Thank you. Just going through my options here. And then here's Sam. Sam's in pretty good shape. He was actually the newest puppet of all these because I had to rebuild him when the original Sam and Ralph got stolen. So this is the rebuild of Sam. With an official Bob Denver hat. So I'd like to put removable arm rods on him as well. But he's in good shape. Hey, how's it going? He's a little toit. Okay. I'd like to paint his eyes and change out his eyeballs, change out his rods. But I'm not going to do that first. I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to finish Roberta, who I started a while back, and all I got as far as was her head. So let me grab her. I didn't even finish the head, but I did do some work on her. So here she is. So her eyeballs are just pinned on. I can show you how those are done. Her hair's all done. Her antennae are pretty good. Although I may change those out. Change your little body. I don't think I have a female body here. That's okay. I'm going to make one. So let me take her eyes off. I was running low on pins, so it's good that I have these eyes. I think she has a hole back behind these eyes. No, not really. I can close it up. So here she is. This is as far as I got with her. The ponytail is actually one of those hair extensions girls can put into their hair. And I found a fur that was about the same color. I did the rest of her hair. But so she has hair, and these bangs are exactly like how I did Ralph's, except for there's no ostrich feather to it. But the movement of the back ponytail helps with her a lot. So, and this is the vacuform. This is the vacuform buck that I have, and then you can see these eyelashes are made from I believe it was one of these. I think it was one of the Diet Dr. Pepper plastic cans, plastic jug bottles, and I think I put so it feels like fun craft foam on there and made the little eyelashes, but they look good. I'm just gonna, I think, probably wash these real good and then paint them, and then probably put a new fringe, a new black line around it, and then that'll be how I improve that. But first and foremost, I want to deal with the body. Now, what happens with Roberta? I have her old body over here someplace. There it is. Just have one more piece to find, and then it's so funny. I find these things all the time when I'm not looking for them, and then when I look for them, I can't find them. I found some parts. Found some parts of Roberta. I thought they were in here. You'd be surprised how many of these things I have hanging around the house, or hanging around here that have puppet parts in them and whatnot. Ah, here it is. There's her old body. Okay. Now, I was working on Roberta when I was ready to go to DragonCon one year. And so I stopped working on her. I had gotten as far as putting her body together and putting her arms on, but I hadn't finished her eyes and all that. And so I had finished her arms, and because Mayberry and her heads had the same colors, had the same skin, I took her arms off and put sleeves on. So Mayberry's arms are actually Roberta's old arms, and they tied into this body right here, which never fit her quite right. This is the inner liner for it, which never quite fit right. But I'm going to show you what I had done at that point and how it made her a little stockier than I wanted her to be. And now that I've discovered that FOSS shape, I think this will solve that problem, which would be great. And I'll have to repattern everything, but that's a little easier. Okay, so this is her body. This is her little body. You can see how modular these things are. Oh, but it's so tight. Okay. So there's her little body. But I think the FOSS shape is gonna fix this area in here. The skirt might be salvageable, but anyway, that's as far as I got with her. And then once I finish her, all that's left is Sammy, which would be great to get him done. I'm tempted to just move on to him because I'm super excited about finishing that. But this one's farther along, so I should probably work on this one. So let's get started on that body. And this, oh my gosh. This is the, speaking of my run-in with Facebook, this is what's inside of a Glee puppet. And you can see how much bigger the Glee puppets were than these Melonpool puppets. This one probably will get canceled. But you can see that's how much smaller. Although I could probably use that top part as at least a start. I should take, this one's on its last legs. I should take this apart and pattern it. Make a pattern off of it. So I think that's what I'm going to do today. You can see how much this foam has changed over the years, how it's gotten more yellow and more rigid. You can also see how many darts and things are in this thing to give it the subtle shape it has. I think this was left over from Demi Lovato or somebody that we were going to do. Excuse me. And you can see I think these are Easter eggs in here. Might be these might actually be vacuform ping pong balls. That's what we used in that. I did the same thing when I made Miss Piggy, actually. I could have just used this and been done with it, but I would never have been able to pull a pattern off of it, so it's better to have it give its life so that Roberta can live on. Okay, so that. the neck. Now, I'm not going to do the whole skirt. I'm just going to, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to find this pattern, make this pattern, and then I'm going to alter it, and I'm going to make it a little smaller, and make it out of, let me make sure I'm doing this right. Make it out of, that's interesting. Make it out of EVA foam, so that way I can put Phosshape on it. And I'm using the heat gun to loosen this glue. It was done with Barge probably 15 years ago. Whenever Glee was on, that's when this was from. So that's that. I really should number these things. This was that. A. B. B. C. I just want to make sure I know which direction these go. And I'll only do one side. Oh. I was trying to pull apart a dart that didn't exist. Okay. So that goes like that. Okay, so this is the other side. I'm not going to worry about doing that. But so this is that's the pattern for this puppet, for this body. So I'm just going to use this much of it. But I'm going to make a good old pattern for it. Oh, and this is part of it too. This is for the back. been some real good puppet content on Tested lately. Been watching it. Some people I actually know on there, which is pretty amazing. Michael Schupak was on there, as well as I just recently met what's her name? See how good of friends they are? Is it Honey and Ragamuff? Something like that? Let's see if I can figure out the name. It's Ragmop and Goose was on there this today. Very interesting stuff. What is that site? What site were you talking about? Tested, I think, which was is Adam Savage's thing. So this is my last file folder that I had from all the hundreds of file folders I've been using over the years. Because I had been able to find some in the trash. Next door. It wasn't in the trash. It was next to the trash. And I was able to get plenty that I was able to use for the last 3 years. And then I had bought some that I was using for this purpose, which I use basically for the envelopes I put them in. And I used up, this is the last one of those. And then I bought some more. So everything's running out at once right now. Now, since I'm using somebody else's pattern as a starting point, I don't really have to true too much up. I at least know it works. But I'm going to alter this quite a bit. I just wanted a place to start. And there's darts here, but I don't know if they're necessary. So I'm going to make one set that's right, and then I'm going to make that, and then I'm going to cut it apart and make a new one that will be the Roberta puppet. What is this new project? So I'm making the girl, Roberta. In fact, I don't think I have a picture of her. Let me see if I have a picture of her. Where would I get one? Let me go get a book cover. Just a second. as I often say, I used to be somebody. And when I used to be somebody, I used to do these Melonpool books. And I'm building her, Roberta, who is right here. So I started her quite a while ago. So I have her head, but I don't, or a good chunk of her head done, but I don't have her body. And this is her circa 1996. You can see how small her body is. And so I know that the width of my wrist is basically as thin as her waist can be. So that's what I'm attempting to do here. And these books are still available in the gift shop on Amazon.com. I'm not sure what happened to the previous one of these puppets. I used to have, I built Roberta several times. Built her 3 times. I'm not sure what happened to the last one. I think I might have scavenged her for parts. I know her ponytail came off that first one. So that might be why she doesn't exist anymore. I have very few of the old puppets. I don't have the storage to keep all 10 of them. I do have Mayberry back from a certain point. I do have a couple older Sams. In fact, the original Sam is the only one from the original Melonpool movie that I still have. And that's only because I gave it to Roger, and Roger gave it back to me. Okay. So what this is not to get you to steal other people's patterns. It's to show that if you buy a pattern and it's not quite right, you can alter it. And that's, you know, not that I bought that. Well, I did buy this one. So I bought it from BJ when I did some work. I just never had the actual pattern. I just had the... Okay. It feels more like the butt. Oh. There is one more piece. There's one more piece. Okay. I use this kind of when I was, this is a starting point when I did the Miss Piggy body. I just blew up certain areas to make it a little bit bigger body. Huh, red fluff. I wonder where that came from. All right, so what I'm going to do when I build this one is I'm going to build it out of L200, or not L200, EVA foam. And then I'm going to shrink it down so that I get it a little thinner, but the outside diameter is still smaller than the sorry, 1 second. Oh, this is interesting. This is a bevel. Oh, I see. Okay. I'm gonna shrink it down so that it's just a little bit wider than my wrist, and from there, I'm going to make a new pattern. Actually, I'll probably make that one out of regular garbage, regular upholstery foam, until I get the shape that I want, and then I'll remake it, true up the pattern, make it at an L200, and then get out the Foss shape and make her a new body today. So that should be good. Okay, so this is the back neck. Okay, this is boob, ab, back panel, mid panel. Okay, and this is A, B, C, D, E. Okay, let me cut these and clean these up a little bit. I didn't think I was going to be able to. I didn't think I was going to be able to live stream today because I'm building this patio cover with my friend Eric lately, and we finished it up today, a little earlier than I expected. So I was still able to come on here. Just marking the center line on this so that I know how to put it all back together. Did you really name that pattern part boob? I did. This is your pattern, isn't it, BJ? I'm just using it as a starting point. I figured I would tempt fate with the algorithm. I'm gonna take it off the camera. Of all the videos I shouldn't have let you see, it's this one. Which B-day is that? Well, I don't know what the birthday. Oh, body is that? It's what we used on the Glee girls, or at least it was a prototype for it. It was something I had left over. It was really old foam that was left. I guess it went like that. That was one half of it. I think I was going to borrow it at one point from you, and then I never got it. Like, we couldn't find the original pattern. So you handed me that body to use as a reference, and I've just had it ever since. That might have been one of the characters that, you know, they were constantly changing out characters on us, and it may have been one of the ones that we had to discard. But I think it actually was a prototype. We had a wedge insert in the middle of the chest to get rid of the uniboob. Oh, maybe so. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. Roberta can have a uniboob. It's still better than what she had. I mean, this is what she had originally. I'm just basically taking that much of it. I'm going to make it out of Foss shape so it's going to be smaller. I had Ralph and Ralphie done. I got them done yesterday. I saw today that you have 70 subscribers to your new channel, BJ. That means that you've managed to double the amount of subscribers I had, and I've been at it for 4 months. But I have the elusive webcomics crowd all sewn up that you don't have. So, you know, that very desirable demographic. All right, so I got my base pattern now. Yeah, me too. Heck, I'm not going after the webcomics people, so you might as well. So yeah, this is how, I don't know, BJ, if you saw this. This is how Ralphie turned out. Let me make sure I have his front on his front. Nope. Ah. Just a second. Got all twisted around somehow. All right, so this is how Ralphie turned out. Oh, you know what? I turned something on. I'll fix that. So there's Ralphie. You know what it is every day I get an error on this old iPhone that I use for the overhead, and every day I have to clear it. And I think I turned on the grid. Sorry. This is all thrilling video. Half of my videos are usually me figuring out my technology here. Come on. I think the grid's off. Is there still a grid? You don't like the accent on the eye? Well, I can change it out. He's always had it on his eye when I draw him. I mean, this is, he always has it. Oh, I don't know. I'll futz with it. I don't see a grid. Yeah, it must have just been a temporary. Oops, wrong button. All right, where was I? I think I just turned it on when I was feeling around for the little button. Nice accent. Oh, you like the idea on the accent on the eye. Okay, good. Then it's perfect. I thought you said you don't like the accent on the eye. In which case, this friendship is over. So what I'm doing with this, BJ, is I basically want to kind of get a pattern so that I can then make it out of EVA foam so that I can then use that heat Foss shape stuff. And this is close to being right. I mean, if you want me to put the grid back on, I can. Is that a good thing? Maybe I discovered something. I'm always hitting that thing. I hate the fact that I have to use an old phone for that overhead shot because I get an error every day telling me that it needs to be on the network and I need my system updated and all this other stuff where I'm just using the camera part of it. Oh, I mean, I just keep it on all the time. I probably should label these right and left too. Okay. Let me do that. Let's see. I guess this would be right, left, right, left, right, left. Okay. All right, let me put that grid back on, see if you really like it. Oh, wrong one. Okay, well, let me. This is always what happens. I hit the wrong button because it's up so high. So funny, I can. I managed to. Oh my gosh. Well, guys, I think you're out of luck. I have no idea how I turned on this. Boy. That one. There we go. That one. I hope you guys are getting a lot out of this video. Okay. Can't tell if there's a grid on it or not. I don't know where there's a grid, if there's a grid or not. I guess I'm off the grid. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, BJ. I'm gonna use EVA foam as a buck to drape the Foss shape. Exactly. And then once that's on, I'm gonna hit it with a heat gun or with the steamer, and it'll make a hard shell that it can make a thinner body. That's how I did Ralph and Ralphie's body. I know they're not going to be the enhanced one from the video. Got to run for now. Have a terrific evening, everyone. Okay, bye, BJ. I guess BJ probably left quite a while ago. Yeah, I get frustrated with the tech. But you know what? Oh, well. What's funny is I can't see the grid. I mean, there's that grid, but I can't see the grid on or off. I know that it's come on before, but it doesn't seem as prevalent as I remember it. It could be because I have the screen super dark, because otherwise it's on all the time. Because it's such a pain to turn on and off all the time. Okay. And here I have this ready already that I can use if I need it. Okay. I'm sure this whole video is going to get flagged. But this one I won't contest because they're absolutely right. When you went to the camera, it looked like a tab with a grid on it was there. Is it part of the Stream Deck? Oh. No. I don't think so. I haven't been over on the Stream Deck, really. It's actually, I use this program called True Visage that just basically will transmit without any, extra graphics or whatever. And on there's a button that allows the for the grid, but I kept pressing it. It didn't seem to do anything this time. But I'll futz with it and see if I can do it. I mean, if it helps you guys, maybe that's a good idea. Actually, I've given you enough. I don't need to help you guys. No, I'm just kidding. I think I had it on and I turned it off, and I either have to restart that phone or I just have to turn the screen on so that I can see what I'm doing. Red fur. I need to pick a red fur off this table for months. I'm sure of it. Yeah, I think so too. I think it's better to have it off. I don't really see these little tabs down here doing anything. These ones that were on the original pattern, but I'll put it in anyway. I think these big ones do something, but what's great is if this works, then I can make it once out of EVA, and then every time I need it, I just make a new Foss shape piece, and that body's done. Which is what I'm going to do with the one I used for Ralphie, because that was really helpful to not have to pattern down everything. I'll still have to pattern out the covering, but I mean, if I can just hit it with not the heat gun, the steamer for 5 minutes and I'm done with it, that's awesome. One or two, probably one makes a difference, but maybe since there's two in each piece, maybe it will make a difference overall. Maybe. I'm not sure. Everybody patterns a little different. I know that sometimes I get rid of darts that don't do a whole lot of difference to it. Just because I like it to be as simple as possible. I do have complicated patterns. Like the one for Eddie's pretty complicated. And the one for the what I call Tilly 2, which was a second, well, it was the first Tilly puppet, but Tilly, the real Tilly is Tilly 1. It's a very complicated design. But if I can get away with one or two pieces, I'll do it. I mean, one of the big things is I'm trying to do a cartoon character that could not. I mean, I don't think her body could support her gigantic head, or Mayberry's, or anybody's. So I'm trying to get that kind of look with, but have it be a functional puppet. So we'll see. I know it can't be any thinner than that. I can get my arm up in there, or somebody can get their arm up in there. Got to cast Roberta. I have no Roberta in place yet. Okay. Home stretch. Oh, okay. So let me tell you about that video. So that video was actually taken at the shop BJ had. I think it was right after they had done they toured with Beck. So he had all the Beck puppets, but he also had old Crank Anchor puppets. And so what happened was, it may have been like the second time I had been to the shop, And so I took the puppets that I had made, because that's a pretty old Mayberry that was in that shot, that thing. And Sarah grabbed the Roberta I had made. So it was the same batch that I made with there was a 2005-ish puppets that I had. Anyway, so what happened was actually the Mayberry that was being cut up in that one was the 2005 Mayberry, and so I had just built, I think, the 2008 Mayberry. So anyway, we shot that, and what we did is we stuffed the Roberta's body, because it's all one piece, into an old Crank Anchor's body, and that was the enhanced version. He had like a Dolly Parton Crank Anchor's body, and so that's how we did that. Of course, this persona is dying on me with the last one. Okay. So that's done. Yeah, I think BJ has the body, and he's like he's clipping. You can see his body clipping on it, and then she says, "Yeah, I want something like that." And then at the very end, she's wearing that body. We actually just stuffed her actual body. It may have been this body up inside. I think this might be the body that I made for that puppet, or it might be the remade version of that one. It's the remade one, I can tell. I did a pretty good job on this. Okay. If I do say so myself. Okay. Oh. Well, I've gotten to a point now. I don't have any more butcher paper. I got to go buy some. But let me see if I have anything I can glue on. Oh, I have a little bit. This is Godzilla's arm. I'm never going to make another Godzilla, so I can just use that. In fact, I think I saved this just in case I needed it for the paper. Well, the paper. All right, you're gonna see what I can do in here. This is the arm off of Godzilla, and probably I'll end up needing this, but who knows? Who knows if I'll ever make another Godzilla puppet? Godzilla suit. Okay.
Okay, here we go. I realized after you guys started giving me a hard time about it that I'm using way too much glue on these mock-ups, so I tried to be a little bit less crazy with my glue. Let me shut that door real quick. This is all still pretty down and dirty, though. I know. This would be the same process that's done when you might have to rebuild a puppet too. Like you might have to deconstruct something you no longer have a pattern for, or was made by somebody else that you don't have a pattern for. I mean, you can take you can use tape to create a pattern as well. That probably would have been a better option, but that body I took apart was on its last legs anyway. So if I didn't do this now, it probably wouldn't last another year. It was so damaged. Have you done the Vaseline around the can where the lid meets the... No, I haven't done that. I think you mentioned that. I think you mentioned that, and I just didn't. It didn't register. I have been gluing outside pretty much this whole summer. I'm only doing this because it's kind of the middle of the video. I don't know that I'll actually... I think probably what will end up happening is I'll alter this to make the shape that I want. And then tonight I'll probably make the final out of EVA foam. And then tomorrow I'll do the fox shape part of it. I should get some Vaseline for stuff like that. I usually have to scramble for mold release, and so I use Neosporin. That way it disinfects my injuries as well as acting as a mold release. I'll paint those eyes tonight too. I should remember to put my gloves on. That's what I should be doing. Like I have the gloves right here, like right there. I have gloves, and I always forget to put them on. What ends up happening is the days that I'm using fleece or fur, and I'm also gluing, I end up at the end of the night picking glued on fur off my fingers. Because even when it isn't wet, it still managed to pick up all the fur. All right. And the reason these are labeled wrong is because I was thinking of the character body right and left. That's why the right's on the left and the left's on the right. Yeah, I end up putting the gloves on and then having them on the whole time, and then I get to the end of the project and I'm like, oh, there's just one more seam to go, and I get it on there anyway. So it's like, can't win. Okay, where's that? I don't know. Okay. No, okay. I lost a tick mark somewhere along the way. That's not right. Where is it? I've already gotten confused. Okay, so that. Okay, let's figure this out. That can't be right. See, I'm so glad I put tick marks on everything because now I'm completely lost. got to be like that. I'm doing a bang up job here. Two C's together? No, I don't think so. I think the D's go together. I mean, that looks right to me. Just a second. See, this is the same process basically that I go through when I'm, if I have a pattern that, if I have a pattern I know I've used before that is close to what I want, I'll build one and then start that. Like Miss Piggy started off as Strange Pork's head. I just basically started with Strange Pork and then cut it apart to make the Miss Piggy. I think I put it together right. She's a little bustier than I'd like her to be, but. Yeah, I must have done something wrong on the tick mark. I mean, maybe I put it together wrong too. Who knows? But it's working. All right, so.
Oh, let me air this room out a little bit. Okay. So I got this back together, and it looks pretty close to what I started with. Like, it's rough. It's real rough, but, I mean, this is half of the body, or 2/3 of the body, and it's conforming to the same shapes, so we'll consider that a win. But it's real loose, too, so, like, her head on this, I'm not going to put it on because my hands are covered in glue. It's a little too big. So let's figure this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut stuff out of this thing and glue it back together. And my arm won't actually have to fit through. It just has to be just small enough. I mean, this may not be the right shape either. She's fairly angular. I mean, really, this is what I should have done all along. Actually. Okay, so when I would draw her, so this is how I would draw her. Okay. Her and Mayberry both have that little insignia on the front of their shirt. Mayberry's just kind of becomes the like an emblem. Hers actually kind of denote where her chest is. Okay, so that's her head. And then when I draw her, so that's basically how I draw her. So this is the shape that I actually want to make something that looks like that in her body. So that's kind of the shape I need to do. So maybe I don't start with this. Maybe I think I can still use the bodice area, but maybe I need to do it from scratch. See, this is the way my process thinking works. Is like I try something and then alter it and then keep going with it to try and figure it out. Oh, really? So I did put it together backwards, I guess. I probably put the right on the left and the left on the right is probably what happened. But it still worked. I mean, yeah. So this one would just be over here and this one should be over here. This was always the butt, but I think this one is just flipped over. Yeah, so I did all that for nothing then. But you know, this is how you learn. This is how you learn how to do things wrong, I guess. Yeah, I could probably still make this work. So that would glue there. I need to take some out of the waist. I need to take some out of the back. See, this is where I went wrong. I have videotape evidence of my mistakes.
I think you should try to make it work. Shows your process. Yeah, I mean, I'll at least start process. I mean, really, my process is to find the simple shapes and then make it more complicated as I go. I think that's as close to my process as there is, but I try to show different processes, many different ways to mess these things up. I think really what I try to get across is there's no real one way. There's just different ways to solve problems, and the more ways you know how to solve a problem, the more ways you can kind of work your way out when you get to a problem. So this needs to come in like so. See, what do I want to get out of this? I thought it means got everything now. So I kind of just like start cutting stuff away until it starts to look right. Sometimes I cut a little too much, sometimes I don't cut enough. Starting to. I glue it up until I can't glue it anymore, and then I start over. There's many wrong ways that can turn out the right with a little adjustment here and there, as there are right ways that can go wrong. Yeah, that's true. Absolutely true. It's wrong. I think the only wrong thing is to think there's one way to do everything. Oh, I never put glue on this. Okay, so now we've got too much bulk on the back, so I'm going to take a strip out of here. And again, I'm trying to get as tight as I can without going past the size of my wrist. Or I don't want to make it any smaller than that, is what I'm trying to say. And actually, I want it to be a little bit bigger than my wrist, but I don't want to go that small. Is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so here's the thing that I do is I don't worry about that until I get to at least the second or third stage of the puppet. Like I try to make it as simple as possible. And then when I get the shape right, then I start worrying about how to cut it apart so that it's structurally sound, if that makes sense. Like this stage, I don't care how, I just want to try and find the shape. Okay, so it's getting pretty tight now, but that's where I want it. And I want to take out this hump in her back too. Okay, we're getting close. At least close to the point where I had to make a new prototype to start over. I guess. Okay, so I cut in the wrong spot there, but I'm going to just fix it real quick. So back when I made this body, I used to put a foam insert inside the skirt to keep the skirt out, but I think I'm going to do it with boning this time so that it'll be a little bit more like it'll move around a little bit better. Okay, it's tight. Okay.
I think that's as far as I can go with this version of it. But you can see how much different it looks now than it did. I mean, I think there's still a little bit more that needs to come out of here. And maybe a little out of there. But this is the way the old one looked. It was just a foam insert, and then it was all fabric on the outside. Oh, what a horrible little pattern that is. But you know what? We'll be making a dress on live stream. I'd love to see that process. Yeah, I probably will. I probably will be doing that. Once I figure out because I already had the body for Ralphie. I made it back when I made this puppet. So I had that. So I didn't really go through that process. But once I have the Foss-shaped version of it, I can probably use that same L200 body that I'm going to make, or EVA foam body, as a dress form. And I can make her body or dress with that. I have parts of it, like I have the skirt already figured out, but I've also learned how to make skirts since then, because I did the Miss Piggy one. So I can apply that knowledge to it. So yeah. So I think I'm gonna head out now. At least I got that far. I'll probably cut this thing apart and figure out where I went wrong. Maybe even start over from scratch, but I mean, that's pretty close to what I want. It seems a little bit big. Maybe not. Maybe if I just... I like the shape of the boobs on that dress form. Yeah. It's not bad. We'll see if I get canceled tonight. There. Little butt goes up a little bit. I may put a little bustle in there. Again, I'm trying to get it to look like that. This area right here. So, I mean, it's basically I think that shape is what I'm looking for. The arm there. I don't know. So it's a process, but I think I can really improve upon what I used to do. So I guess probably for the next week or so, I'll be rebuilding or fixing this puppet up. And then it's just on to the hamster, the giant hamster. And then that's the end of all the Melonpool puppets as far as being the rebuild. Oh, and I'm gonna retrofit Mayberry and Sam, but okay, well, cool. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it too. I just kind of want to refine the shape a little bit more. Like I just kind of want that to. I think what it needs is I think this part needs to be all one piece to flatten out the front. This curve that's happening here. I think BJ was saying that there's a they had to add a wedge to make it not look like a uniboob. So I think that's what I need to do. I think if I make that all one piece, I think that'll solve that problem. Maybe even take a dart out right here. You love how I just do it? Yeah, I think that'll fix that. Yeah. Well, she's an alien, so I can I can make some changes. Alrighty, yeah, I'll be on tomorrow, so I'll see you guys later. And thanks for tuning in.